Hi everybody and welcome back to the Golf Chat Show Live. Today we've got Paul Roberts, head greenkeeper from Holyhead Golf Club on the show. Now, Paul, you are not only the head greenkeeper, but you're a good golfer too, right?
I could play a bit. I used to be able to play a bit, not so much anymore, but yeah, not bad, not bad.
Now, before we get into the reasons why you come on the show, the other day we had Greenkeeper on from Stockport Golf Club, and you felt that there was a bit of something on Twitter afterwards, not about Robert from Stockport, but about a certain person who was saying that the golf course should be amazing and sort of selling people the dream. Whereas we want to today just basically make people aware of what's actually happening at ground level. But before that, funny story, as soon as I said I was coming live with you, one of my friends, good friends and a good friend of yours, Scott Parry, texted me and he was like, oh, it's great that you've got Paul on. He's a good golfer. We've had some great matches. So it's a small world.
Yes. Funny enough, Scott, I played against Scott at Holyhead a fair few years ago now, and he was playing out of Holyhead and I was playing out of a 9-hole course on the island called Barron Hill, where I worked and played, obviously. And it was the match play final for the island. Obviously, him against me, and he absolutely hammered me. He can play.
He's going to want me to mention this, and I said I would. I remember when I must have been young teens when I first met Scott at Bramwell Golf Club, and we played 9 holes, and he was like 7 under through 9, and then he went in. I'm like, what are you doing going in here? He's like, oh yeah, I do that quite a bit. I'm like,
mad. He can play. To be fair, the whole family can play. They just live off by the first green and the second green at Holyhead. So yeah, they're born and bred Holyhead lads, and obviously gone on to bigger things in terms of their own careers and stuff. So yeah, I'm in contact with all three, to be fair.
Class. Okay, so let's get into today's show, because I think it's really important that as your position, as my position, as people who work at a golf club, we make people aware of what's actually happening at ground level right now. So I want to start off with not Holyhead, but just, did you see that absolute stupidity at Walton Heath the other week on Twitter? I mean, how much work would that take at the moment? We're not talking full green staff to repair
that. It's a tough one, because I've had that happen at my place, at a previous place I worked, and it's amazing how quick it recovers.
Oh, right, okay.
Especially going into the season rather than coming out of the season. You know, things are starting to kick off, growth especially, and you get reaction to the feeds you'll put down in your dressings. So I think they'll be all right. And as a golfer, you see that, and it's just horror, absolute horror. And obviously, as a greenkeeper, having to pick up those pieces after. But no, you'll be surprised. They'll be fine. It was horrible to see, and it's been mentioned on other podcasts that I listen to when I'm working and that sort of thing. And it's like, wow, that is just shocking. Such an iconic golf course as well, getting destroyed right in front of your eyes. But I think it was the first fairway going down the short par 4, and I'm sure it was down that one. And they've got the resources to pull it back. I'm sure.
I'm sure they have. So, what is your daily process at the minute at Holyhead? How are you maintaining the golf course? What are you doing? You're probably working more than 5 days a week right now, right?
Yeah. It was 4. I had 4 staff, one of them being seasonal. 2 of the full-timers went furloughed, so it just left me. So what we did beforehand, where we initially told that, right, all of you are going to disappear for 3 weeks, while we get you on furlough. We'll let everything just sort of grow and come and take it from there. So what we hammered the course in terms of, we cut everywhere, cut everywhere. So the growth was not so wild when we came back. Things changed, and then it was just left with me. So I had to pull in a system that I could work to without going out my mind. And it was 2 jobs a day I was trying to do, whether that cut greens, aprons, tees, whatever. And anything on top of that was just a bonus. To start off with, it was fine. to a degree, because the growth mid-March, very early April, growth wasn't, and we were dry as well.
Yeah.
Coming out of a horrendous winter, and we went from very wet to dry, so things was not growing. So it was okay. And I would say from the middle of April, things started to get difficult. I was cutting fairways, looking to my right, looking to the left, and think that needs doing, that needs doing. And it plays on your mind so much, because you're thinking, right, it's 2 o'clock, I need to go home. But you're thinking, well, another couple of hours, I can do that, and then I'll be able to settle at home. So you have to be pretty firm with yourself, saying, right, 2 jobs, anything else, bonus, off you go. So yeah, that's where I'm at currently as well, in the situations. 2 jobs, whether that be, like I've said, but you've got fairways, and that can take at least a full day's work.
Yeah.
So you feel as if by doing that, okay, fine, not a problem, let's get that done. You feel as if you're falling behind with something else elsewhere. But the golf club understand that, Holyhead understand that. But it's, despite everything, it's difficult mentally to get your head around that.
I bet. And the other thing that you're probably thinking of is, and every golf club has this sort of thing, members think they are the greenkeepers, don't they? Yeah, one person. And for you, you're trying to manage the expectations of the committee, the members, and of yourself as well, because with full staff, you present a lovely golf course. And now it's like, I'm chasing my tail, and I need to do this, I need to do that. And it must be terrifying for you.
Yeah. We, like I said, coming out of a winter that was extreme. We had areas where water would sit on greens or aprons where we lost coverage. So we've not had the opportunity, until the lads went, to oversee these areas, to top dress these areas. So that's just been left to its own devices to come back. And to be fair, it's started to come back now. But that would be done. That would be ticked off. Right, that's that done. Move on, lads. Let's move on to the next thing. So I've not been able to do that. So that's something that'll be noticed. Whether we're playing golf in 2 weeks, in a month, it'll be gone. But say we're playing in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever that be, that they won't be fully recovered. So that to me is not perfect, which somebody actually stated, like I said, the other day. So to put that on us I think is slightly unfair on us and unfair on the golfer as well, because they'll be excited like myself to tee off and off we go. And then you get to the first green or wherever you play golf and you think, oh, and it's just a big downer. It's like, oh, yeah, look forward to this for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is. And then, oh, it's not as good. I've paid X amount for this, and look at this. And yeah, you've got that on top of you as well. So yeah, it does lift the stress levels, to say the least.
Oh, I can imagine. So what would you say to people as a blanket message to what they should expect going back to the golf club? So Holyhead is a lovely traditional members golf club, like we've got so many across the Northwest. We're not talking, like we mentioned earlier, Walton Heath with massive budgets and all this kind of thing. What should the people expect?
They'll have surfaces to play on. The greens won't be as quick as what they would normally be, whether that's end of May or June, whatever it is when we come back, because heights have been deliberately left up, to take stress off the plant, to allow it to come back, like I said, that after the winter, and get as much light in to, do what it does and go from there. But that won't take long to come back. So the word is patience, really.
Yeah.
Just be patient. Just enjoy your golf, but be patient. From what we're hearing, there's not going to be much in the way of competition going forward. So you're not, the lads who want to come down in handicap, they're not going to get your 0.1s. Just go out there, enjoy, and go in your car and come back tomorrow.
I hope people have a sort of different kind of outlook on golf, because we're not going to be playing competition. And I hope people just look at it and say, look, I'm getting some fresh air. I'm back to the game that I want to play. I know the golf courses might not be where I want to now, because thanks for you coming on, Paul, because I think people would have been in that situation where we saw on Twitter saying, Yeah, that'll be perfect. No divots, no pitch marks. Which, yeah, okay, great.
Yeah,
We've got
yeah,
no divots and pitch marks, but
yeah,
with situations like yourself, which I think a lot of golf clubs probably are, with maybe
yeah,
1-2 staff maximum in place.
yeah, yeah. Because the comment was, well, you haven't got your bunkers to rake or maintain, but there's something else elsewhere. And what I've noticed, certainly at Holyhead, is that rabbit activity's up. There's
Yeah.
nobody to shoo them away. They're doing it. I bet they can't believe their luck. Thinking, where's everyone gone?
Yeah.
Like in Llandudno the other week, where the goats have come down. It's the rabbits on the golf course. I bet they can't believe it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's just something small in the scheme of things. That'll soon, sort itself out when the golfers come back. But yeah, it's those comments, like you said, it's the Twitter ones on Facebook or whatever you're on. Just seem to be, you see it and you think, oh no, do I comment? Do I sort of put my little thing in? And I did on the Twitter one, but it was, it was fine. No, hence me contacting yourself and coming on here.
No, thanks for coming on. So I know it's only you at the moment, but what precautions are you taking day to day? Are you having to put PPE in place for yourself to keep yourself safe?
There's just me, and everything's been, when the lads left, everything was washed down, sanitized the best we can. So from what I can gather, we were coming from a blank. Well, I was coming from a blank canvas then, and sort of starting afresh. So I think I've out of routine. When I finish with the machine, I'll just wipe it down. I've got the wipes in the shed, and I've just peace of mind more than anything. And then I've done that on a daily basis. But we tend to routinely wash our machines down. Expensive pieces of kit. So the least we can do is look after them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to kind of another topic, and someone asked this question. So, and this is probably coming from a non-golfer. They've said greenkeeping is not an essential line of work. Now, obviously, as golfers, we think it is very essential because we want our golf courses. But so why would they have to go to work? Because there may be some people, not yourself included here, that may be thinking, oh, well, I don't want to go to work. I don't feel like it's safe. There may be some people on the other side of things. What do you think about that?
In terms of essential, probably not. But in terms of the business, the golf club as a business,
it's definitely essential.
It is because, especially early doors, on our Greenkeepers Bega page on the Facebook, there was a lot of lads who were, we've shut up shop. We've gone, the 6 of us, and then they've come back for the short spell during just after the first initial 3 weeks of the furlough period, and then they've hammered the course for like a weekend where there was a little gap in that, and then gone back on furlough. So yeah, it's to be honest, I don't know where we go from there, to be honest with you. It's a difficult one.
It is super difficult because I think there'll be obviously 2 extremes: people that won't want to go because they don't feel it's safe, and yourself who cares about the golf course and what wants to hopefully as soon as we get back to playing golf, you've got something for the members. Now, getting some great comments here, Paul. Some Flynn's put here, who cares what shape the golf course is in? We've all been hitting golf balls in our garden for 6 weeks. It's so true. We need to put it in perspective, don't we?
Yeah. I'm just looking out my conservatory window, and I've got a little setup there as well, and I've enjoyed doing that. But I could do with one of those. It's only about 22 grand for a TrackMan, isn't it?
Yeah, only. Yeah, all right. Get one of them hooked up in the garden.
Yeah. I'll get one. Yeah, it'll look good there, but the dog might enjoy it. That's the worst thing.
Get some of those green machines gone and get one of them in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the golf club will be happy.
No, they won't. No, never mind.
Just got another comment coming in here, Paul. We both saw that in the Republic of Ireland that we're got golf coming back very soon. Have you heard anything from your side of things, from the bigger association, about when golf will be back started?
I think, is it confirmed the 18th of May for Ireland?
Yeah, well, that's the sources. I've not heard anything from the government yet, but that's what I'm seeing on two sources on the internet.
yeah, yeah. I think Golf Monthly was one of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, Golf
Yeah,
Monthly and
yeah.
BBC.
To be fair, all the rumours that have sort of been knocked about, they've been pretty true, haven't they? Nothing, when they've said a date, they're not far wrong, and perhaps somebody's inside leaking this stuff, and it's not. I don't know. It's the 18th would be great, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would be absolutely
Yeah.
awesome if we're able to get back. Now, I mean, I don't think personally we'll be back teaching, but I think we'll be at least be able to go and make some golf videos on the golf course and actually get out and enjoy it.
Yeah, and just that will be the possible normal for the time being, won't it? The two balls and that sort of thing.
Will you be back playing? Will you try and get around it?
Yeah. Or I'll finish at 1, but I'll message the missus, said I'm finishing at 5. It's all right.
You just let yourself into that now, haven't you? You just absolutely done.
She won't watch it. Don't worry, she won't. She's sick of me watching them, so she won't watch another one.
This next question and this next point that I found on the internet before, and it was on Golf Monthly. It really infuriates me. Members asking for rebates because they've not been able to go at the golf course. Now, we all know golf's not booming. It's getting better. More people are hopefully getting interested in golf. But golf clubs and members golf clubs, it's becoming not a dying age because you can get golf so cheap paying and playing. But people asking for rebates, that just infuriates me. Now, I know it's a difficult situation. People may be on furlough themselves and not be able to afford it and all these things. But at this time, the golf club still has all its bills to pay.
It does.
And they're not cheap to run. No,
definitely not. And funny enough, we were going through a few things with the pro manager the other day when he popped in, and it was you've just got to suck it up pretty much. And you think you've played golf for, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 50 years, some people. You think what golf's given you, and it's just that small little window you've not, in the scheme of things, that small window you've not been able to play your golf. When it's all over, that golf course will still be there for you to get your clubs out, meet your mates, possibly in 2 balls, but in passing, give them a wave or whatever, or chat from a distance while you whatever. But it's there for you. It's the first time ever it's been taken away from you. So just go with it. Just join and support your club, and we'll still be there. Like myself and other golf courses and green staff are doing what they can to make sure that when you are able to tee it up again, that it'll be as good as, certainly playable, for you to play. So in that, it's the clubs are extremely grateful for when you do play your subs. I've heard the way our manager has spoken to somebody that's paid their subs, and it's like, great, thank you very much, and they hope to see you soon, and that's all. So I think the negativity is from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, it seems to be dropping, and it seems to be a bit more positive. Like, not long now, and you're seeing these adverts, like you've said, on the Golf Monthly and other networks, and say, how long now, and rather than going into it, we're certainly coming out of it. So it's just hang on there and just wait.
Got another question here for you, Paul, coming from YouTube. From Keith McIntosh, he's put, I gather there are some serious concerns about Greenkeepers' mental health in the situation. You sort of alluded to it before, the stress. And the bigger association have been setting up special mental health support. Have you heard of this?
Yes. Yeah. There's a guy that's set something up, and as we sit here, I've just forgotten his name. I apologize for that, but he's done unreal work through his Facebook, and you can contact him directly and get things off your chest. So what is said on the golf course, usually ends up getting back to the greenkeeper. So it does affect, just like in any job.
Affect
you. If you were given a lesson and some guy had gone back to the. And I said, that Alex is awful, you know, and it got back to you. It just give you a knock, wouldn't you?
Oh, 100%, definitely.
Yeah. So it's the same, and you know, you sometimes you get the greenkeepers that would argue their case and storm up to the clubhouse or storm to the who said this, blah blah blah. But despite it all, and despite the sort of hard face of it, that comment or that sort of run of events will affect that person. There's no two ways about it. You know, that this, if you think your main man or your green staff is, oh, he's hard faced, he's old school in, you know, he can say anything, or he's a mate of mine, you know, I'll play golf for them, I don't mind it saying, you know, these greens are poor, or these greens are slow, or these greens are fast, or the bunkers are, you know, it builds up, and you know, people just need to just be a little bit careful of, you know, they may work for you, but they've got their own issues as well away from the golf course, which can be sort of escalated. Yeah, well, and escalated by other little things, and it all just, you know, you build up a pile of coins, and you know, at the end they'll just topple, won't they? So
yeah, definitely. I especially at this time when, like yourself, it's just you trying to keep the golf course in as best condition as it can be. So when you get all your staff back, you can then make it ready.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to that, to when the lads come back, and it's just, you know, we're all mates. There's 4 of us there. We're all mates, and you know, we get on, and you know, we do our job the best we can. And to be fair, we were extremely pleased with the way we presented the course, you know, over the last 12 months or so. So yeah, I'm looking forward now, rather than, you know, 4 weeks ago, head down in the sand and, oh, this is awful, and I'm sort of slightly lifting my head thinking, not long now. Like the golfers are thinking, it won't be long before we're playing golf again. I'm thinking, right, let's get the lads back, you know, ideally a week before we open, once the murmurs come round that, you know, this could be happening, get them back, get that course as good as we can, and put things in place, and there you go, let's play golf again.
I'm looking forward to it, I'll tell you that. Got another question for you here, Paul. Getting quite a few coming in here. From Matthew Bennett. Saying we've got some great points here. Thanks, Paul. Have you been in contact with any other courses, and are any other green staff worried about the golf course not being able to reopen from a financial point of view?
Yeah. I play my golf at Conway. I'm a member at Conway. From what I can gather, they're okay. I speak to Mark, who's the head greenkeeper there. Good lad. I speak to Lee Jones, unreal golfer. He needs to get back on the golf course. He really needs to get back on that golf course. And they seem okay. They seem okay. And you've got another golf course very close to where I'm living, which, you know, you hear rumours, you hear little murmurs that, you know, they're struggling, and they were struggling before this. This could tip them. I know there's been grants handed out, but like you touched on earlier, it doesn't go far, because you can just very quickly move through that money, especially when you're trying to get a golf course back that hasn't been sort of looked after, like we've touched on, to the degree that we'd normally do. So that sometimes you have to put things in place, right? We need to put a bit more of this down, a bit more top dressing or whatever, which is gonna make things go up. And obviously, so yeah, it's worrying, because nobody wants to see any golf course close, or not, because if, like, I live in North Wales, and we're touching on the peninsula, on Clean Peninsula, which has got amazing golf courses, Harlow, Nevin, you know, Porthmadog and Abersoch, and if one of those golf courses sort of goes down for whatever reason, it affects all of them. You know, you hear things where, you know, I used to work at a golf course where there was just a railway track between the two, and you'd hear members saying, "Oh, I've heard that one's awful." Oh, great, yeah, people will come here to play. No, it doesn't work like that. They come for the experience, and 9 times out of 10, they're not just playing your golf course. They're playing 2 or 3 or 4. Yeah. And if say 2 out of the 4 are not as up to what they would expect, they won't come back. They won't come back. So it's so important that we all, i.e. golf courses, stay open, and it just has a positive effect, especially where I work on Anglesey. You know, from what I can gather, is that all the course and Anglesey are okay financially, and where, you know, as soon as this sort of settles down and visitors and, you know, people are allowed to go to their caravans or hotels or whatever, you know, come and play Anglesey, come and play the course on Anglesey. So there's crackers, some crackers on here.
I can 100% vouch for that.
Yeah.
Another comment coming here from Lee Jonesy Boy Jones said, golf clubs need to get the members back. Can't see visitors being allowed, but having the members back in a non-competitive environment can help boost the golf club. And I think that's a super important point. I think the most important thing is get members back, worry about getting visitors later. I think that'll start to come as people start to travel a little bit more.
Yeah, especially like you said earlier about the pushing for members to pay their membership.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're a member of a club and you're almost given VIP treatment in terms of your, you know, your BRS, your booking system.
Yeah,
I think that's a good sell as well. So yeah, members first, visitors second. You know, coming out of this to start off with, and you know, your members are your mainstream, aren't they? You know, that's who you look after first, and then the visitors is, you know, you accommodate that, and you change things in time for when that is allowed. But on that, with Lee Jones, he needs to play his golf. He needs to get back on the golf course again.
I'm guessing you know him.
He's the Lee Jones from Conway, yeah.
Is it? Two and two together.
Yeah.
He's also put another comment here saying, Paul, you're bringing a tear to my eye. Nice comments. Keep up the amazing work you've done with Holyhead, and all the pictures you've been teasing me to start playing a golf again.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
We've got another question here for you from Ian Hallworth. Do you think, I mean, obviously, hopefully we're back to normal or some sense of normality in the middle of summer. Having a great summer could be, and a great holiday season could be like make or break for golf clubs, couldn't it? Like that big injection of cash flow, hopefully loads of visitors, people coming to play and stay, and all that aspect could be massive. Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts on this, but when this sort of all opens up again, do you think we'll have a boom? Because potentially it's the only sport that, you know, you've on the island, there's not going to be any football for, especially, you know, lower leagues. We've only got lower leagues on the island anyway. But a lot of these lads that, you know, mid-30s to 40s who are still playing football to a degree and not able to play football.
Yeah.
I think they'll turn to golf. I'm hearing that
I honestly think they might. I think a lot of people, when they finish playing football anyway, they sort of turn to golf because they've got bad knees, bad hips.
Yeah.
And I think this potentially could accelerate it, which could be fantastic. Now, I don't know whether that might be like, I don't know, obviously driving ranges might be different, but I don't know whether that might be like just as a social aspect, or I do hope it turns into a member aspect. But I can really see a lot more people picking up the game of golf for the benefits of being able to play it and keep yourself safe.
Yeah, it's and say you get 20 that come to your club and play at a regular, even if only 5 join.
Oh, it's massive.
You know, at whatever the fee is for your membership, whatever you are, then you know that's huge. And you know, bar sales, and then 5 turns into 10, turns into 15. They tell the mates it's the greatest sport ever invented, and you know, it's like I said to you earlier, I'm thinking positive now rather than doom and gloom.
Yeah, 100%. Another question here for you. Final one up from YouTube, and then we're going to get two more that I've got written down. We got asked before. Another Kev Ray said here, he's emailed his golf club saying that it'll be 10-minute intervals, 2 players only, and members will get priority. Is that what Holyhead and Conway are saying as well? Yeah,
as far as I know, yeah. And there's also like restrictions on practice in terms of if you've got a practice net. We've got one on the edge of our car park, brand new, built last year. So from what I can gather, there'll be some sort of sanitizer there. And it's a double bay, but it'll only be single use.
Okay.
Putting green. We've got a medium-sized putting green, and I think it's 2 max on that, and the priority would be given to the 2 that are next on the tee, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, the 10 minutes tee times, but also You know, you can't, like, what time is it now? 5:30. You know, you and I couldn't say, right, do you fancy going to Holyhead for a game? We'd have to book it, because you don't want 10 people hanging around thinking,
Turning up at the tea.
yeah, which makes sense. It's fine, and I think we can all deal with that on a short-term basis. I don't think it's a big issue. Buggies, don't know. I don't know how they're gonna. You know, it's almost a full-time job, especially on these bigger courses, to come and wipe down the buggies. And
Yeah,
you think of it when, again, from a greenkeeper's perspective, you've got one tee time would usually be a four ball going out. That turns into 2 tee times. So very quickly your golf course would become full, because you've got 2 balls dotted. You know, you've got 10. Well, what would be 5 4 balls is now 10 2 balls.
yeah.
So your course is better. So we will potentially have to change our maintenance routine. Stagger starts, maybe. You know, I'll start at 5:30, cut greens, do whatever. You know, and you might start at 2, or a 1, might do a 1-9 during the height of summer, because that how it ties in with the way the flow's going with members going out at certain times. I don't know. We'll have to cross that when we get closer to it, to be honest.
So, final question, Paul. I saw on the internet this fancy system of being able to hook, your putter in and lift the golf ball up. Are those things going to be put in place, or are you going to turn the cups upside down? What are you thinking of that?
We've ordered them. Yeah.
Fantastic.
We ordered them yesterday, and they should be with us Monday, Tuesday.
I mean, that's just extra cost, isn't it? I mean, they're probably not cheap, are they?
No, but we managed to get a deal, and we were happy with the price, and they look solid. And perhaps, you know, once this is all over, you know, they won't go to waste. We can perhaps put them on the putting green, you know, to save you know, bending down, which I know you've got the ones that do sort of lift out, but you have to touch them, don't you? So, you know, I don't think it'll be a pure waste of money, but I'm sure once this is over, there'll be a fair amount on eBay for sale.
Yeah, I'm sure for a lot less of the price.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for getting in touch, and thank you so much for coming on the show. We've got some fantastic questions, and you've been great. Thanks.
Yeah, pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure.
Now, before we go, guys, you saw on my social media earlier about this. Sort of teach you about doing a giveaway. There will be a giveaway coming up next week. So there's a massive thank you to American Golf and Garmin for hooking me up. And I'll give you all the information next week sometime. So I'll give you more on Monday. But thanks very much for watching today's Golf Chat Show live. It's been an absolute pleasure having Paul on the show, giving us a great insight to what we should expect as golf club members going back. We need to think about our actions, guys, and just respect to what actually these guys are doing in unprecedented times. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon.